Can Karun Nair make it to the Indian team for the Champions Trophy?
Karun Nair is making headlines almost every single time he gets onto the pitch because of the amount of hundreds he's scoring in the Vijay Hazare Trophy. But it's not just that. With the Champions Trophy coming up, a lot of people are talking about why can't Karun Nair be in this squad and if he can be a replacement for someone in the middle order. Before we get into why we think the chances of Karun Nair playing for India are slim, hit that subscribe button. Karun Nair is one of the biggest what ifs in Indian cricket, especially the test format. We all know that he has that triple 100, after which, after a couple of failures, he did get dropped. He's seen a lot of ups and downs, not just in international cricket but also in domestic cricket. Hailing from Karnataka, he played for Karnataka until 2022, after which Karnataka dropped him from every squad. He did not play the 2022-23 season, after which he moved to Vidarbha and he's made headlines ever since. He has played over 100 first-class matches with an average of 48.6 and over 100 list A matches with an average of 40.1.
And while Karun Nair has been a giant of the domestic circuit, 2024 season in particular has been an absolute blockbuster year for him. The biggest difference that people have noticed in Karun Nair from the previous season to the current season is the fact that he's a lot more fitter. He's improved his game. He's got a lot of power hitting into the game itself. Add to that, he has all of the shots in the book. He plays all around the park. And most importantly, Karun Nair seems to be in a very good space mentally where he's trusting his game and doing almost everything right with the bat in hand. This was first evident in the Maharaja Cup in 2024 where we saw Karun Nair top score the charts with a strike rate of 181 and 560 runs in the tournament at an impressive average of 56. Not only that, in the Syed Mushtaq Ali, he was also the highest scorer for his team Vidarbha, where he scored 255 runs at an average of 42.5, but more importantly at a really high strike rate of 177. And this is a drastic improvement and a telling sign that Karun Nair has definitely evolved his power hitting game and has also improved the trust he's showing in his batting abilities. This is evident because his career strike rate in T20s is only about 134, whereas in these two T20 tournaments he's been striking at 180. And if a lot of people thought that he was already in his best batting form in these two tournaments, the Vijay Hazare Trophy has completely set all of that to rest. He's played 6 innings, he's got 5 centuries, he's remained not out 5 times, got 664 runs at a crazy average of 664. Not only that, he's also striking at 120, which of course in the ODI format is really good.
Now the real question is, with all these numbers in place, why can he not get selected simply on his form? Now let's compare him to someone like a Devdutt Padikkal, who's fairly young, has played for India in the test format and has incredible numbers in the list A career that he has so far. He's played 31 matches with an average of 82.3 and a strike rate of 91.9. We take his example because unlike Karun Nair, Devdutt has performed in Vijay Hazare over multiple years and he has been consistent. The fact that he's also played the test format, the fact that he also played in the Border Gavaskar Trophy yet isn't in the reckoning in the ODI format shows the amount of talent pool that the Indian team has right now and shows how far Karun Nair might be from the place in the 15 itself. Now of course there can be an argument made that Karun Nair is very experienced, is way older than Devdutt, and if Karun Nair in this form, after making the changes that is clearly working for him, if he is picked in the squad, someone like him will perform for the Indian team much quicker, unlike a Devdutt who is much younger and might just take his own time.
And this is where we come to the main question. Even if Karun Nair is to be picked in that 15, not even the 11, who is going to make way for him? How is he going to make space in that middle order? Remember the fact that Karun Nair is now mostly batting in the middle order at number 3 or number 4, positions in the middle order that are completely occupied, and there is a lot of competition for these positions in the Indian team. Karun Nair's job obviously to get into that squad isn't going to be any easier because he's fighting for a spot that belongs to the world's best ever number 3, and that's Virat Kohli. But hypothetically speaking, if we take a scenario where Virat Kohli is to get injured, does that mean that Karun Nair can then get a spot in that lineup? Let's break it down. Now the first possible solution in that scenario will be that the backup opener that's going to be Yashasvi Jaiswal will come into the squad and Shubman Gill will probably move down to number 3. And even if the Indian team does not want to make use of Yashasvi Jaiswal in the ODI format and still want Gill and Rohit to open, you have the likes of KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant and even Sanju Samson who can be fighting for that number 3 spot. Pant comes into the picture despite his poor average because of the fact that he's a lefty and he's been around the Indian team for all this while. In the case of Sanju Samson, he now opens in T20 cricket, which means that the team will be more than happy to push him up the order given the chance.
Now even if the number 3 spot is occupied, the other possibility is for him to bat at number 4. But even these positions are completely filled up. You have the likes of Shreyas Iyer who performed extremely well in the 2023 World Cup. up. You have KL Rahul once again. You have Sanju Samson. You possibly have Rishabh Pant if the selectors do want to pick him. There have been times, especially in the 2024 series against Sri Lanka, where Akshar Patel was promoted up the order to bat at number 4, and the Indian team have a tendency to promote someone like an Akshar Patel or Jadeja considering they're left-handed batters, and they want to break the rhythm of the game by sending them up the order. And at number 5, you have the same options again, but you also have the all-rounders coming into the picture, someone like a Washington Sundar or a Hardik Pandya. And even if in a world where the Indian ODI team is in a disaster and all of these guys get injured, you still have players like Rinku Singh and Riyan Parag who have played for the Indian team who can easily get selected ahead of Karun Nair.
This is where we also come to another variable, and that is Gautam Gambhir and his team management. We've seen so far that in his short tenure, Gautam Gambhir has already favored so many all-rounders. Examples like Washington Sundar coming into that New Zealand series, the picking of Harshit Rana as well as Nitish Kumar Reddy for the Border Gavaskar Trophy are just a few examples of how Gambhir has a preference towards batters who can ball, bowlers who can bat, or all-rounders in general. This too is a negative point for Karun Nair because he's not someone who balls, and this is why someone like even Riyan Parag might be ahead in the pecking order, considering that he can ball some handy off spin, and also the fact that the Champions Trophy is happening in Dubai where India will want some kind of part-time spin bowling options. But on the flip side, because it is Gautam Gambhir and because he's also emphasized so heavily on domestic cricket and how he wants to reward cricketers who are doing well in the domestic circuit, you could just see Karun Nair getting a surprise call-up for the England series and eventually the Champions Trophy itself. And not only because of the track record that Gautam Gambhir has, but also because of the fact that Gautam Gambhir has performed poorly as a coach and as a team management as a whole, and India has not been doing well, we know, in test matches. And if India show poorly in the Champions Trophy, then Gautam Gambhir might just not be the coach anymore.
Now, this has been an unpopular opinion within you guys when we have talked about age, but Karun Nair is 33 years old, and the selectors have this tendency to not select players who are in their 30s to debut for the Indian team because this is not even a comeback. In the recent time, only Surya Kumar Yadav and Rajat Patidar as batters have debuted for the Indian team, and Rajat Patidar is nowhere near the circuit, and Surya Kumar Yadav is only a one-format player. But even with the case of Surya Kumar Yadav, he is currently the best T20 batter India has. So Karun Nair, with all of these performances, he will have to replicate this in some form again, maybe in the IPL, which is of course after Champions Trophy, but for his own future to debut for the Indian team in the white ball setup, he will have to do this once more.
This has been our video on what we think the situation with Karun Nair is and whether or not he will make it to the Indian squad. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Share this with your friends, like the video, and if you haven't subscribed, definitely do that. All of our links are in the description. We have Twitter, socials, and we also have an email newsletter. Check it out. The first one will be coming out for this year really soon. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.